What kind of monster slaps a child for drawing in the dirt? Let me tell you about Lisa Carver, a woman who thought her HOA badge made her queen, until she crossed the wrong uncle and watched her empire burn. This isn't just a story, it's a war, fought on suburban grass, with fists, truth, and a kid's quiet courage. I'd been out of the military for 3 months, 12 years of dust and adrenaline still clinging to my bones. Settling into my sister's place in Pinewood Grove, a gated slice of fake perfection, felt like stepping onto a stage where everyone played nice but nobody meant it. My nephew Tommy was my anchor. 9 years old, autistic, with eyes that saw more than he could ever say. He loved tracing patterns in the dirt, humming soft tunes, letting the wind carry his thoughts. The world wasn't kind to kids like Tommy, especially not in a place ruled by Lisa Carver, a peroxide blonde dictator with a clipboard for a throne and HOA rules as her gospel. Lisa didn't just enforce rules, she wielded them like a blade. Grass an inch too tall? Fine. Kid's bike left out. Citation. Laughter too loud? She'd slap you with a violation faster than you could blink. If cruelty ever wore lipstick and heels, it lived in her 2-story colonial at 12B. The first time I saw her, she glared at Tommy for stepping onto the edge of the community path's grass. He was just walking, humming, lost in his world. Kids like that don't fit here, she muttered loud enough for me to hear, her smile sharp as a knife. I stared back, my blood simmering. She didn't know me. But she would. Tommy loved the park. It was his sanctuary, no noise, no judgment, just trees and dirt to draw in. That day, he was crouched under a big oak, sketching spirals with a stick, his hum barely louder than the breeze. I sat on a bench, coffee in hand, scanning the horizon like I was still on patrol. Then I saw her, Lisa, storming down the path in a fire-red blazer, clipboard clutched like a grenade. Her eyes locked on Tommy, and I knew she wasn't just walking. She was hunting. She stopped inches from him. "This isn't your personal art studio," she screeched. "You can't deface HOA property." Tommy froze, stick in hand, his wide eyes searching for sense in her rage. He couldn't answer, fear locked his voice. Lisa snatched the stick and snapped it, barking. "What's wrong with you? Are you mute, dumb, or just a spoiled little pest?" I was on my feet, coffee spilling, but before I could cross the grass, her hand swung. The slap cracked through the air, wet and vicious. Tommy stumbled back, hitting the ground, curling into a ball, hands clawing at his ears as his breaths came in sharp gasps. Lisa loomed over him. "Maybe now you'll act normal," she spat. That's when something in me snapped. I charged, the world narrowing to her smug face. She turned just as I reached her, her smirk flickering. "Touch him again," I growled, "and you won't walk out of here." She scoffed. "What, tough guy? Think I'm scared of some washed-up grunt? That kid broke rules. I was teaching him." "That wasn't teaching," I said, voice shaking with rage. "That was assault. And now it's personal." I knelt beside Tommy, his cheek red, his eyes avoiding mine. "You're safe now," I whispered, but inside I was a furnace. Lisa had crossed the line, and I was going to burn her world to ash. The park went silent, like the air itself was holding its breath. Tommy rocked beside me, hands over his ears. Lisa brushed her sleeve, as if she just swatted a fly. "You think your broken kid gets a pass?" she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "This is a decent neighborhood, not a freak show." A mom by the swings gasped. A dad stood, but said nothing. Cowards, all of them, tamed by Lisa's fines and threats. But I wasn't them. I stood, slow and deliberate. "You just made the worst mistake of your life," I said, my voice too calm, like the quiet before a storm. She smirked. "What are you gonna do, soldier? Hit a woman in front of all these people?" I stepped closer. "You didn't hesitate to hit a child. Don't play victim now." Her chin lifted, defiant. "I'm HOA president. I can have you thrown out. I'll sue you to nothing." I moved fast. My backhand cut through the air, connecting with a crack that spun her into the metal HOA sign saw community values. Respect, order, unity saw. It shook as she hit it, her clipboard and sunglasses crashing to the ground. Blood trickled from her nose, her lip. She crumpled, gasping, clutching her face. The park erupted gasps, dropped phones, wide eyes. Lisa crawled to her knees, hissing. "You're done. I'll have you locked up." I crouched beside her. "Let's talk about the kids you've hit before. The mics you hit on benches. The HOA cash you funneled to your brother's fake company. Want me to go on?" Her face paled. "You don't know me," she stammered. "Oh, I do," I said. "You're a bully in a blazer. And your kingdom's falling." I turned to the crowd. "Anyone got a problem with me protecting a kid from her?" Silence. Then a single clap. Then another. Then the whole park, not loud, but enough. Lisa's reign was cracking. She didn't press charges that day, she could barely walk. Cops came later, tipped off by one of her minions. I was ready. A neighbor's porch camera had caught it all, Lisa's slap, her venom, Tommy's fall. The officers watched, their faces hardening. "You hit her," one said. "After she assaulted a disabled minor." I shot back, holding up the broken stick. "She left that out of her report, didn't she?" They exchanged looks. "She did," one admitted. That night I didn't sleep. I edited the VY Dale, added timestamps, slowed the slap. I sent it to neighbors with grudges and the HOA board. Let them choke on it. By morning my inbox was chaos. Mrs. Chen said Lisa fined her for her son's sidewalk chalk. Mr. Lopez got an EVY tie-in threat for a Puerto Rican flag on his porch. Parents reported anonymous complaints whenever their kids played too loud. It wasn't just cruelty, it was control. Lisa had turned the HOA into her personal fiefdom. I collected everything: emails, fines, voicemails she left at midnight, even a recording of her rifling through someone's trash. Predators thrive in silence, but I had proof now. Her mask was slipping. Lisa fought back, sending a slanderous email blast. Saw a dangerous outsider threatens our safety. Avoid him. Saw she slapped a $750 fine on our door for threatening BHVY or, followed by fake county complaints about our garage and backyard. She thought she could bury me in paperwork. Big mistake. I dug into the HOA's public financials and found $14,200 paid to a non-existent landscaping firm, linked to a P.O. box and Lisa's cousin. Sloppy. I cross-referenced checks, called an old audit buddy, and built a fraud case, airtight and brutal. Then she went too far. My sister found Tommy's drawings, torn and stuffed in a bag with HOA flyers, dumped in our yard. My fists clenched. "This ends," I told my sister. "Call everyone she's bullied. We meet tomorrow. We're taking her down." The courtroom smelled like old wood and tension. Lisa strutted in, red blazer bold as ever, but her lawyer looked cheap, her swagger brittle. She hissed at me. "You'll regret this circus." I smiled. "This isn't a circus, Lisa. It's justice." Her lawyer ranted about my vigilantism, but I was ready. I handed the judge a binder, fake invoices, signed checks, the VY Dale of Lisa slapping Tommy, terrorizing neighbors, ripping up kids' art. The courtroom shifted as the footage played, murmurs, gasps, the judge's jaw tightening. Lisa sank in her seat, her lawyer's objections waved off. Neighbors testified, fines for decorations, threats over kids' noise, silence board members. Lisa's face cracked, her hands trembling. The judge spoke. "Ms. Carver, this EVY Denke demands a full investigation into your HOA conduct and finances." Lisa shot up. "They're lying! This is a vendetta!" I stepped forward. "No, Lisa. This is what happens when you hit a kid and think you're untouchable." Fear flickered in her eyes, the kind tyrants feel when their throne catches fire. 3 days later, the HOA board, half resigned, voted her out. A newspaper headline screamed, Saw HOA tyrant ousted amid fraud, abuse claims Saul. Her photo, mid-rage, went viral. Residents flooded online, spilling years of silence stories. Lisa stood in her doorway as cops served a summons and search warrant, her voice cracking. I built this place. I stepped closer. You built nothing but fear. Now it's burying you. The final blow came in court. Charges piled up: assault, discrimination, fraud, harassment. Her lawyer's excuse crumbled as I spoke. She slapped a child, find joy, ruled by shame. She thought we'd stay quiet. The judge's verdict was ice. Do law $1.2 million in restitution, a lifetime HOA ban, 600 hours of community service. Lisa collapsed in her chair, clutching the table like it could save her. Outside, I held Tommy's hand. Is she gone? He asked. Yeah, I said. For good. Months later, the park felt different. No clipboard patrols, just kids laughing free. A new sign replaced Lisa's old plaque. Saw kindness is power, Saul. Tommy drew in the dirt, unafraid. A van pulled up community service. Lisa stepped out, orange vest glaring, picking trash, her pride gone. Funny, I said. You tried to own this place. Now you clean it. She didn't look up. A kid's bubble popped on her face. She flinched. Tommy held up his drawing, a house, a son, a heart. Home now? I asked. He nodded. We'd torn down Lisa's kingdom, not with hate, but with truth and courage. And in its place, we built something better.